It's time for this week's episode of Brandon's Sports Talk.
Welcome back to Brandon's Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Penn University head women's lacrosse coach, Coach Casey Brown. How are you doing today?
Great. Thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here.
Thank you. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to get started in your coaching career?
Yeah, I think for me, I always loved being around the game. And I felt like especially in college, started to really see it as a potential profession. It sort of always matched interests I had. It always matched skill sets and passions and things like that. But I think until I was in college and I had a role model in the coach I played for, Nancy Feldman at Boston University, did I ever really think that could grow into a profession and to be something that I really could pursue. But it was really when I was in college and I started taking coaching courses as a college kid and running my own, little side hustle of training sessions and whatnot, that I really just started to develop a love for it and worked all the camps I could, just wanted to immerse myself fully. And then like I said, when you have a model doing it in front of your eyes that you're learning from, consciously and subconsciously, I think it's a really special mix of ingredients, and was fortunate enough to recognize that and start building a path towards coaching.
What was your collegiate time like at Boston University?
It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. I felt so fortunate for my 4 years at Boston University. First of all, from an academic setting, it was incredible. I feel like I got an amazing degree and academic experience there. Had some great mentors academically. Being in Boston's incredible. I'm from 20 minutes outside Natick, Massachusetts. And so having my family be a part of that experience and be in the city that felt like my city was really something truly special. But the absolute difference maker in my experience was being a member of the Boston University women's soccer team. And I played in 4 NCAA tournaments. We won championships. But beyond the on-field success that we achieved as a team, I felt supported and pushed, and I really felt like the culture, the environment, the program, my coaches, my teammates helped me really become the best version of myself, and one that I felt like I couldn't have seen as an 18-year-old kid coming in. And that really means a lot to me, that I was pushed and supported and empowered in that way. And I loved it. I have awesome relationships still to this day with old teammates and staff members, and I just feel so grateful and fortunate for all the experiences I had there as a student athlete, administrators that I still have relationships with today. I mean, people wanted us to win and be successful, but people want us to have an unbelievable experience. And I feel like I really did there. And that's something I think about and I really carry with me in all the experiences I have, but it also really shapes what I do as a coach and the decisions I make as a coach and the kind of environment I want to create as a coach. So I feel immensely grateful, and it's fun to even just rethink and talk about it because I had such amazing memories and experiences.
What was that feeling like when you got to put on that Boston University soccer jersey?
It's special. There's not too many center backs that wore number 7, but I did. And something about putting on, that jersey really meant a lot. You felt the weight of it in a good way. It felt like a responsibility to have Boston across your chest like that, to be a Terrier, to wear a captain's armband. Like, that was a responsibility that we didn't take lightly. And it was an honor. Honestly, it was an honor to wear the jersey. It was an honor to play on Nickerson Field, to win championships together. It was a special feeling and something I love reflecting on.
During that time when you won championships, what was that like? And what was it like, obviously, hoisting up the championship?
It was special. I think whenever you win a championship, no matter the school, the sport, the team, the program, it's special. It means you did something exceptional. And for us during our time, for me as a player, to win three of those was unbelievable because it just was such a collective effort, and to see different people step up and see, our defensive organization and the type of goals we could score and just the mentality we had as a team going through that journey together and lifting a trophy and winning. And you look back and you see those championship photographs, and it just brings joy. It really is a joyous time, and it's an unbelievable thing to be able to look back on and say. So yeah, it's very, very happy memories that you associate with it. And I just feel really proud of the teams I was a part of there and the teammates I got to play with.
What was it like coming out of Boston University, getting into professional soccer with the Breaks?
Yeah, so at the time, I mean, women's professional sports has grown immensely since 2010 there when I was drafted with the Boston Breakers. And, that was a real honor to be drafted and, be in your own backyard playing at a professional level. And for me, that was, more short-lived. It wasn't this long kind of playing pro career, obviously, but to be distinguished at that level, to taste that level, to experience it, to be, shoulder to shoulder with people you looked up with as a young player, to be around some of the best coaches. It was awesome. It was awesome. And I really felt honored to be a part of it and be at the highest level I could. And then, once that ended, that transition for me, there was a little bit of a pause of like, what am I going to do next? And then that transition for me to say, you know what, I want to go all in with coaching. It was a really important pivot and immediate shift for me. And I felt like there was a lot of uncertainty with the league, I guess now 12 years ago from where it is today. So it's been cool to see the progress of women's professional sports, specifically the NWSL and women's professional soccer. So it's great to see the growth. I had a short but awesome experience being a part of that. And again, I carry all those with me in terms of how I think and approach coaching and just being a part of the game at the highest level. So,
Of course, during your short time as a professional athlete, what was that like, obviously, playing for the team that also you played in the same city in college?
yeah, it was awesome. And it was cool because I had to do a little bit of, double duty. It was during my senior spring. So at a time when a lot of seniors for fall athletes kind of enjoy a different type of, not demanding student athlete life, I was, training heavily, and we were at Harvard, which was, not too far down the road from BU. And I was still a student. So I was, would go over there for training or have double sessions and come back and, have a class to go to. I remember being in the locker room one time, like whipping out flashcards, studying, and everyone else is just ready and just thinking about soccer, it was an interesting like shift in dynamic, but certainly no regrets, and really enjoyed the opportunity to be there.
How was it like, obviously, becoming a grad assistant and getting your coaching start?
That was such an important experience for my learning and coaching development. So once I figured the professional playing part was, over, and I was ready to transition out of it and immediately get into coaching, I was fortunate to get an awesome graduate assistant position at Long Island University, Brooklyn, LIU Brooklyn. And I think, every grad assistant coaching opportunity is not the same. I think it depends on the school, the people you're working with and for, what that program looks like. And I was so fortunate. I knew nothing about the school. For me, Brooklyn, New York felt far away, even though I was only like 4 hours from Boston and my family. So it stretched me in a lot of ways, but I could not be more thankful for that experience, because if you want to become a great coach, if you want to, progress through your coaching experience, you just kind of have to jump in and learn and be a hard worker and soak up as much as you can. But you can't learn unless you have experiences. And I felt like that LIU Brooklyn experience was such an amazing learning opportunity. I got to do everything. I got to have my hand in everything. recruiting, scouting, training sessions, team building stuff, like office administrative things. Like I was immersed in all of it. So I was able to learn so much. And I'm really thankful for Tracy Bartholomew, who was the head coach that I worked for there, who's now we get to face each other as colleagues, as coaches. She's the head coach at Columbia University. But if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have had an experience that she allowed me to do so much and allowed me to grow as a young coach. So I'm very, very grateful for that, and got to get my master's degree along the way. And it just was an incredible journey as a 22 to 24-year-old young coach. I learned a lot and I was immersed in a lot, and it was great. We won a championship together, played in 2 finals, won a championship one year, went to the NCAA tournament, playing against a very good UVA and like national team players and like a Morgan Bryant. It was a fun journey with such awesome, hardworking kids. And I learned so much, and I feel so grateful for it.
What was that feeling like when you went back home to your alma mater of Boston University as the associate head coach?
It felt like a no-brainer, because obviously Nancy Feldman, the longtime coach at Boston University, 27 years, when she calls you to come back and you're looking for that next opportunity, what's it going to be, or what's this going to look like? It just felt like such an amazing opportunity. It always feels special when you're back home and when you're, working for your alma mater and your former head coach. I think her and our relationship grew so much because I learned a different side of it. You're sitting on one side of it at BU, and then you sit on the other side. It's very different. But I think working in that program, I took such a pride to everything I did. I worked as hard as I could to produce an unbelievable experience for our student athletes, to bring in the top recruits that we could in the country, and to put ourselves in positions to win championships. When I was there, we won 3 championships when I was the associate head coach there. And that was awesome, because each year we had to do it a little bit of a different way. We had a different group and different varying talent levels or dynamics. And it was really special to be a part of that. And I learned so much from Nancy Feldman, and I feel so grateful for that opportunity. People talk about coaching courses, and I think that's awesome. But I think another opportunity is just like recognizing who you work for and with, and working for Nancy Feldman, who, in my opinion, is one of the best in the business, period. It was like I was on an A license every day, and just so immersed and challenged in different ways of thinking. And it really brought out the best in me, which allowed me to, in my opinion, feel prepared to be a head coach. So I'm very grateful for that.
How was that like, obviously, going to the College Cup for Boston as obviously associate head coach at your alma mater?
Yeah, so in the 3 championships that I was a part of there, we advanced through the NCAA tournament. I think it was my last year there, maybe in 2016. Someone will be mad that I don't have this date right, but 2015, 2016, it was 2016, and beat a tough St. John's team and double overtime and advance to the next round. I mean, it just was awesome to be a part of that run with those players. It was a special group of seniors, and it was a group that really wanted it. So when you get to experience something as a player, like, you want to help create that same type of awesome for the players you get to coach, and to see them really achieve it and go for it and love that journey together was really cool.
How was that feeling like of leaving, obviously, your alma mater of Boston to go to Holy Cross to become the new head coach there?
Yeah, so I moved down the road about 45 minutes west, and in the same conference. And I think that was, it's never an easy decision to leave. But as I was alluding to, I felt like I learned everything I really could soak up from that environment as the associate head coach at BU. And it just felt like things aligned. And I felt personally that I needed to be the one in the chair and make decisions and do it myself and figure stuff out, because I always had aspirations to be a head coach. And you can prepare and you can prepare and you can learn and you can do all these things. But to me, until you really are in the seat and having to make those decisions and having to be the one to have hard conversations and have it be your record or all these things, like, you don't really know until you're in it. And I felt that while I didn't know everything, obviously, I felt I was prepared to at least figure it out. And I felt really confident in my preparation to figure stuff out. And I took a really challenging job there, and I couldn't be happier with that journey. For as tough as it was in a lot of ways, I felt like it was the right decision, and ultimately just an awesome experience.
Of course, what was that feeling like when you got the keys for the first time as a new head coach at Holy Cross?
It was exciting. It was exciting. I knew it was an awesome opportunity. I felt, um, you know, I felt excited. I felt proud and all these things, but I think in my DNA, it was like time to go to work. And that switch was just really strong in me. That's like, let's do this. And I just felt really motivated and hungry to honestly to do something that hadn't been done there. And that's what we did in 2019 together there. So yeah, a lot of mixtures of those feelings.
What was that like, obviously, during your time at Holy Cross, getting to obviously coach against your alma mater?
It was interesting at first, especially when you overlap with a lot of players you just coach. There's always that personal feel, but you kind of do all that pregame, and then when the whistle blows, it's like game on. And we always knew we were playing against a top team in the league. We always knew we were playing against a really well organized, gritty team, and that's what we got. And I think my last year at Holy Cross in 2019, beating a BU team, being down 1-0 and coming back and winning that game 2-1 at Nickerson Field where you played and you coached. I don't think that had been done since 1995 at the time. That meant a lot. It was a big win for the program and for the girls. And I was really, really proud of them. To see them achieve that and for us to achieve that together was really cool and just a full circle moment.
What was that feeling like of going to Penn University, where you are now, becoming their head coach?
Yeah, University of Pennsylvania is a special place. I was honored to get the call to be the next head coach here. This is a place that, first of all, always am attracted to really high academic environments, and to be at UPenn in a world-class institution is like nothing else. It's that's special. The Ivy League is an incredible conference for women's soccer currently, and just in terms of where it's going right now, it's you're coaching against and playing against the best teams in the country, period, while not sacrificing the greatest academic allure there is. So it was awesome, and I knew it was an opportunity in a great city. I love being in kind of these urban environments. You can kind of see it behind me here, but being in Philly was just, everything just made sense. And I just felt like once I started talking to the people, the leaders, the administrators there, it was clear they want you to be successful here, and they're willing to support you and want you to achieve that and have your student athletes have an unbelievable experience. And I just, to me, beyond like some box ticker core things, when you feel that alignment, I think that's where you know you have a really good fit. And because you want to be in a place where you feel fit, just like a college student wants to feel fit with what school they want to go to, you as a head coach want to feel alignment and fit with administrators and leaders in the campus and the department and what they're trying to do with their vision. So I felt fit, I felt really supported, and I just feel like it was an awesome opportunity. And I can tell you now, because I'm sitting in the seat of it, Penn is a special place. Penn women's soccer, we've laid a foundation for it to be a really special program. And I love the girls and my team and the staff I work with and the people I get to share this with every day. And we're just very proud of what we've built thus far, and really excited to where we're going to go.
What was that big jump like for you from going from a Division I school to a Ivy League school?
Honestly, it wasn't too much of a jump. I think whenever you are in a different program, there's a learning curve of like, how does this work here? Where are the best cheesesteaks for real in Philly? You do all that kind of discovery. But no, I think there's certain like nuances within the Ivy League where the rules are a little bit different. A shorter preseason or a little bit more restriction here or there, but those are very minor nuances that you just get used to quickly and you figure out. Again, this is why I really aligned with Penn. Beyond getting used to those pieces, at the end of the day, it's a world-class institution, and you get to play at the highest level Division I soccer. So for me, there wasn't too too much acclimation in that regard. You know, there's white lines, there's 2 goals, there's a ball, and you get to play against the best of the best. And I think that's an opportunity, and that's what I love about this place is an unbelievable opportunity every day.
What are some of your accomplishments so far in your coaching career at Penn?
Some of my accomplishments, I think getting through COVID or something like that, getting through a pandemic. I think the biggest challenge was starting a new job and having to lead a group of women that you didn't know too well and lead them through some really hard times. I think that has by far been the biggest challenge that this job has presented, and like that, for everyone across the world navigating COVID. And listen, we're fortunate to be healthy and all of that, so minor compared to most, but I think navigating that was really tricky because there's no playbook for that. There's no, how do you start a new program during a pandemic when everything's just a different hurdle or challenge, or how do we do this virtually? How do we make this work? How do we get, the girls to believe in X, Y, or Z, or build an identity on it, on the field and off the field? That was a challenge. So I don't know. I think we're on our way to creating a lot of successful things, but I think for me, what I'm most proud of as a head coach of this team is I just am so proud of these women and what we've built so far, I guess, because through navigating the most difficult times, delivering tough messages to them, and this is canceled, this is transition, this is going to be a little different. That's been really hard, and I'm saying it from my lens. It's been that much harder for them. They've proven how resilient they are and how just like mature, and the amount of just perspective they have every day. They're unbelievable. They are unbelievable. And I feel so fortunate to coach these young women, to have the staff that I do, to have the administrators and leaders that I do at Penn, because it's just like, I'm just so proud of what we've built, what our culture is, what we stand for, what we're about. We've adapted and found a playing style that we're proud of. That's what I'm proud of. And the success that comes with it, that will hopefully follow this fall and in years and seasons to come, I'm looking forward to all that. I'm not hanging my hat on anything. I'm just so proud of what we've built during really crazy, unprecedented times.
Who are some of the teams that you face in your conference each week?
What are some of the teams we face in our conference? So in the Ivy League, there's 8 of us. So our 7 in-conference rivals, probably on the spot here, I hope to not forget anyone, but Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Dartmouth, Cornell, Columbia, and did I forget 6, 7? Am I forgetting someone? I think that's it. Did I capture everyone? I don't know. I think I've captured everyone. I apologize.
What is it like, obviously, each week getting to play teams like Princeton, Yale, and Harvard?
It's awesome. This conference is unbelievable. I think it was like 3 top 25 teams within that mix. First year that we sent 3 teams to the NCAA tournament. So you're talking about an automatic bid and 2 at-large bids is crazy. It's awesome for the conference and for the league. So to me, I want to be with the best. I want to play against the best. I want us to be the best. So you want to be in a conference where you're going to be challenged every single week. There's no gimme. Every coach program has done an unbelievable job and putting themselves in a great position. So yeah, I feel very happy to be in this conference. I'm very excited for where the conference is going on a national level. So yeah, I think it's an opportunity every single week to play the best, and that's exactly what we want.
What are some of the game day traditions that you've implemented?
Game day traditions are just, the consistency of our preparation. We focus heavily on, video and our scouting reports and what we do the day before a game. That's very routine and robust. And it's to me, the approach we have that develops a consistency, no matter who we're playing against, no matter what day it is or what time kickoff is. We're prepared. We know the keys to the game, and it's a consistency that we're trying to create. And that's the most important thing to me.
What does the recruitment process look like for those prospective student athletes looking to go to Penn?
I think the recruiting process for everyone is a bit of a journey. It's a huge process, and I think there's a lot to navigate and to go through. I think for me, the way I look at it is I just want to present our program. There's no sales pitch or twist your arm and press you into X, Y, or Z. It's about, this is who we are, this is what we do, and this is how we do what we do. And when we have players that come to campus and obviously see our gorgeous campus, they don't realize they're in a city, but they also have an unbelievably beautiful campus and all this stuff. So when they immerse in it and they're around our girls and the team, and they're around our staff and they're seeing everything, they get to see it for themselves. Because I think a lot of time, I'm not someone who, says X and then you're like, wait a second, it didn't really seem like that, or I didn't get that impression. I want to present our program and what we're about, and then I want you to see and experience it for yourselves. And I think when you find someone that values what you do and we keep talking about this, but aligns in terms of program values, our foundation, what we're about, the way we want to do things, when you find alignment there, to me, that's when there's fit, and that's when someone can really do big things for your program, and then you get the best out of them, having them be a part of that. So I would say that's kind of how we view the process.
What does the official visit look like for those prospective student athletes looking to come to Penn?
The official visit process has changed a lot with different rules and recruitings and stuff out there. But for us, it's just you get 5 visits that are official visits, and it's an opportunity to showcase all of the great stuff of Penn. For me, it's heavy into like just more of a day in the life scenario of having the girls go to class, go to lunch, spend time with our players, come to practice, see a game. We want them to be around that because that's what we feel like makes Penn so special. We also try to obviously make sure from an academic perspective, they get a snapshot into that student athlete life, whether it's going to a class or meeting with our, academic support staff, whatever that looks like. We want them to feel like a really complete picture of it. And then we always want something, Philly connected. We want them to explore not only our campus, but all the great things that Philly has to offer as an amazing city. I'm a big foodie, so usually something around food is important too.
What advice would you give those high school athletes looking to play college soccer?
I would say, first of all, advocate for yourself, and figure out what it is you really want and what's important. I think sometimes it's easy to get swept up in the, this school or what conference or, this sponsorship or this is where my friend's going or I heard this. Figure out what really matters to you and make a list of what matters to you, and then go do the legwork, go places, talk to people, write emails, be consistent. The bigger message being like, make it a process, make it a process. Because if you want to find fit, if you want to find a place that's going to, be right for you and get the best out of you based on what it is that's important, you have to advocate for yourself. You have to go places. You have to ask the right questions. And you have to immerse fully into it. But I think just a little bit of that perspective, not getting too swept up in it all, but really just committing to making it a process is really important. You'd be amazed how many people just do some of the surface level things and maybe struggle and figure out they're not really happy at that place. So I think it's really important to do a lot of self-reflecting, a lot of pre-work in terms of what makes the most sense for you, and then be on your way to figure out what that looks like.
What advice would you give those college athletes looking to play professional soccer, whether it's the NWSL or USWNT?
Come to Penn. Yeah, I mean, when we talk to recruits now, we talk to prospective student athletes. You can play professional soccer at the highest level here, and whether it's our program or another program, I think the big thing is, do you have to be good enough? Absolutely. But you have to be willing to grow and get better. And we feel like we have a program that with the right talent, we're going to provide an opportunity for them to be pushed and supported and empowered to become the best version of them. So it's not a program where you're just going to be able to roll out a ball and say, you're great at that, do that for 4 years. We're going to push you to get better at that and then bring out X, Y, and Z in your game. Excuse me. And we feel that our environment will help grow them. But my advice is dream big. You should think of those things. Where women's professional sports, where women's pro soccer has gone is amazing to see. It's not done yet, and it has a long way to still grow, but it's awesome. And our players should be thinking that I could do that. I want to strive to do that. And I think, people need to be committed to the craft and work their butts off to become the best version of themselves. But I think it's important that they should dream and think about things that way and know that we support them and there are opportunities to get to that level. So I think it's fantastic.
What advice would you give future college head coaches looking at starting and coaching in college women's soccer?
Don't skip steps and immerse yourself to just learn. Be around good people and learn, soak stuff up, try, practice your craft. A lot of times it's hard. You want to be a head coach, and assistants in college, maybe it's not as much coaching actual experience as you like. You're around the game, you're around a program, but then work in a club and coach more, like practice your craft and be around good people and minds and ask questions and work really hard to discover like what you want to be about as a coach and find your coaching voice and build your coaching philosophy. I think courses are awesome. I think going to different camps to work at or volunteering in different programs, or I think you just have to really immerse yourself in as much as possible to really soak it up. And then it's like reflect, or, look at a session and reflect. What would I do differently? Could I get better at X, Y, or Z? And I think that reflection part is important too. But yeah, I would say a lot of that.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media along with the Penn women's soccer program at?
Yeah, I appreciate it. You can find me on Twitter at Casbro7, CASBRO7, and then you can find on Twitter and Instagram our Penn account at PennW Soccer. That's for Twitter and Instagram. So we appreciate the following and hopefully kind of get more capturings of behind the scenes stuff to showcase our program.
Thank you again, Coach Casey Brown, for your interview, and best of luck in your future with the women's soccer program at Penn.
You're so welcome, and I appreciate this opportunity. Thanks for all you do too.
Thank you. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Casey Brown, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thank you so much.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free